What's up, everybody? It's the HBHOES, Sam and Maddie.
What up?
Hello. Today we're doing our mini-series called A20Whores, obviously based on films by A24, indie films, all the shits, right? We're here for it. Today we're talking about the movie X, but first, Madison, your makeup, divine. Yes, let's get close. Let's get close.
Also, my fucking cat in the background. Say hello.
Mm-hmm.
To his
butt. Roshi butt.
Yeah, so we did our makeup because we just watched the movie X, and I don't like blue on my eyes.
No one
Don't
does.
love it.
Literally,
the freckles.
The freckles are cute. The freckles were a struggle for me, personally. Yeah. You can hardly see them because I don't know why. I don't know, but But oh, look at Roche, his little beard.
I know.
Okay, you guys really please come follow us on YouTube so you can see all of the cat majesty and all of the makeup majesty.
Yes.
So blue, I did a light blue. We are gunning for Mia Goth's fucking face, and no one can compare. There's a reason that her makeup was iconic in this.
Yeah, really.
So, okay, before we get into the movie X, today was Oscar nom reveal day, January 24th. So we're recording this. It'll be up tomorrow, January 25th. But A24 fucking killed it. And we started this miniseries like very briefly explaining why we did this. Just like we love indie film and we're into it. But I like with this, like I felt such a movement all day because this is Sam talking, but like I have literally applied to work at this company at least 5 times. And I know that I will never get hired because I have no experience that's relevant to any position at this company, but I have loved it so much. And I the first movie that I saw that they did that I really recognized their brand was Moonlight, which actually won Best Picture in 2017. And if you guys have watched 2017 Oscars, it was a fucking shit show because they thought it was La La Land. They announced La La Land. It was a whole fucking catastrophe on stage, but it was actually indie film about a black boy growing up to a gay man, right? And it was a story that no one wanted to produce, and no one, it wasn't popular, and it wasn't a Warner Brothers thing, and it wasn't a fucking Paramount thing, and it wasn't any of that. But A24 picks it up and fucking broke it through that glass ceiling and gave it a platform. And I'm just very proud of where we're at right now with A24 because like with Everything Everywhere All at Once, I got 11 nominations. We just did an episode on that, and I'm very happy about that because it touched both Madison and I deeply. Yes. And it's such a profound and provocative and important movie for literally it could touch anyone. It touched us, and we're both American white girls, and we felt it and we empathized with it completely. And I can't imagine how important it is for other people who are immigrants, who are minorities, who are Asian Americans, who are Black Americans, who are Latinx Americans, anybody that's like queer, anything on the spectrum, how important these stories are to tell. And it makes me really proud because I've been such a long time fan of A24 that what I originally loved about them was just their agency and they're called indie film, but like A24 really rang independence, quote unquote, to me. They were just like, we're going to make what we want to make when we want to make it. We're going to give these people the opportunities that they deserve, even if they have no merit behind them and no anything. We're going to have the stories that we want to show the platform. And that's why I loved them. And from the jump, and now it's like knowing that they're actually giving platforms for things that really, really make a difference. And we're getting to the Oscar stage and we're winning those, we're winning those awards.
Yeah.
Like Best Picture is arguably the most prestigious award in the entire world that a film can win. And the fact that Moonlight won it in 2017 and Everything Everywhere is up for it now. and those are both predominantly minority based, minority stories, minority everything. I'm just like, it's incredible that like we've been longtime followers of A24, and they're actually like, they're really putting this shit out there. They're getting it out there. They're making these old white fucking everybody, like they're making them see this. They're making them watch
just want to say, first of all, beautifully and eloquently spoken. That was so nice. I really hope that somewhere in this crazy universe, A24 gets to hear that, because that was really sweet. That was really cute.
I cried my face off.
Yeah.
So proud, man.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I'm not as technical as you are, like in the knowledge behind it. And we talked about this a little bit. I was introduced to A24 in just like I think not, I wouldn't say more organic, but like I was in less knowledge, right? So like the first A24 movie that I think I saw was Ex Machina. Like a long time ago. I just like randomly saw it with my stepdad. I was like, oh, cool. Like, let me see what this is. And it was really cool. I was like, oh, I love this. Like, what a good movie. And then Moonlight, which I didn't even watch when it first came out. I like saw it like a year later. I was like, oh, like, what is this? And it was beautiful. That was one that I also really, really enjoyed. And like, just the love story of it. I don't know. Like, to me, it kind of felt like Call Me By Your Name. But like in a different way. Like it gave me a very similar feeling. But yeah, it was gorgeous. It was so gorgeous. Absolutely. And it was good.
Yeah, so I think that like my love for A24 started when I saw Moonlight, and I really recognized the branding for the first time, and I was like, A24, like what is that? And I got curious about it and looked them up and realized that so many movies they had done before that I loved, right? Like While We're Young and The Spectacular Now and The Lobster and so many things that I had watched that like and like what like clicked in my brain was like all of these movies are movies that I would go back and watch any single day, or I would never watch again because they made me feel so deeply and I'm not ready for that again. And it's like, but all of them made me question things after the fact and think of things differently after the fact. And in A24, the props is that you are so selective with the movies that you produce and you invest in and you give the platform for, and they are, and not all of them are 5 stars, not all of them are great, but most of them are thinkers, right? And like I can't even speak for all of them because I haven't seen all of them, but what I'm saying is that like it was so fucking clear, because like from 2016 was when I watched Moonlight, and then in 2017 it won the Oscar for Best Picture, which was the first one of the only times in history that an indie film company had a Best Picture nomination and winner.
Yeah, and won.
And so from that point, I was like, okay, this is something. I feel like they broke glass ceilings with that because, like I said, it's a story that no one wants to hear. Yeah. It's a story that like the people that don't need to live in this world and don't need to acknowledge this world don't want to see. Right. And it's a story that A24 helps catapult a Black director and a predominantly Black cast and all of this up to the Oscars stage, number one, and then the Oscars win. And
that is awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then it's like, really okay, cool. And then they take that, and then you get Parasite, which is not an A24 film, but it's a foreign film that wins Best Picture. Yeah. And that was, I mean, huge. Like, I can't help it.
It's set a little momentum for that, which is great because we both agree. And I think even like, looking back on our childhood, we're like, damn, like, even for us as people who were like included, I'm like, yeah, I wish I would have seen other stories too, because
100%.
Why not?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, why not? I'm curious, and I don't know. I just think like it's about damn time. you know, and it's still even not enough, you know, like we still need more. But yeah, it's really, really cool to see some bigger strides being like made.
Yeah.
Even for like someone, you know, for me who's not as even as passionate. I mean, yes, I like the movies and I'm into it. And like, for me, it's like I found out later, I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that these movies I enjoyed were produced by this
Mm-hmm.
company. You know,
Yeah.
when I found that out, I was like, oh, like, I think I should like look into it more. And, you know, so yeah, it makes me proud too. Even on like a more surface level, I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
y'all are doing something. Like y'all are
Yeah.
really doing something. And that is really, it feels good. Not only for me, but for a lot of people. And it's
Oh
really
yeah.
great to watch.
I know,
So
and
good
I'm
to
I'm
watch.
I'm very happy. There's not a lot of times that there's something that you see or like you discover at its like earlier phase, its premature phase, and you love it and you have hope for it, and you're like, okay, this has like A24 is what introduced me to indie film.
Mm,
That that was what it was. I came upon an A24 film and was like, I looked them up and I was like, oh, this is what indie is. This is what the film festivals are all about. This is what it is. So
hmm
and that like catapulted me into this world of like just amazing everything, just unconventional, confrontational, you know, all these things, like uncomfortable. But A24 was like the baby, like this literally A24 is my baby. Like I feel like this
Yes.
is like I don't have a baby of my own, so this is my baby.
Yeah.
So when I see them now, years and years later, like actually achieving these things, and not just with Moonlight, but like with Everything Everywhere, with The Whale, with you know
hmm
Marcel the Shell, with all this, like I'm just like this is phenomenal. It's phenomenal what they're able to do, what they're able to bring to the stage. And the thing is like I don't think what is so great about them is that, and the guys that started it is I don't think that they give a shit about winning an award. They didn't want the glamour and the gold, like the fucking
Yeah.
the board at Fox and the board at Paramount, right? Like they didn't want that. They just wanted to put truth out in the world, and they wanted to put like provocative and thoughtful stories out in the world and real stories out in the world. And the fact that they have made this success is that much more wholesome and that much more like I'm so much more proud of it, because I know that this wasn't their intention, but I'm happy that they're doing it. And I'm happy that they're doing it with stories specifically from minorities and specifically from places of the general public doesn't want to see this. This is not
Yeah.
big box office. This isn't fucking Jurassic Park or Top Gun
Yeah.
or any of that bullshit. Like this is real shit. Like this is shit
Yeah.
that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
So okay, so anyways, hats off to you, A24. This is also a quick announcement that we will be doing a pod on the Oscars. It comes out on March 12th, so the pod will be up. God knows, I'll probably be drunk with anxiety, drunk and anxious. That's what I meant. But maybe March 13th. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we will definitely do a podcast on the Oscar wins. The
Yes.
SAG Awards are coming up. We've got a lot of awards coming up, so stay tuned. But yeah, we've got a lot to look forward to this award season.
Yeah.
I'm very, very fucking happy. A24 killed it. They literally have them, like Disney technically has 22 awards and A24 has 18, but Disney has 22 awards because they own 7 fucking production
Yeah,
companies.
of course.
So
Of course.
A24 being an independent film company, having
Yes.
18 nominations is absolutely groundbreaking. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. So,
So we'll get into X now. Sorry, guys. We just so excited. It's been a very exciting day.
yeah, no, absolutely. We definitely wanted to at least like make sure we were saying congratulations, especially because we're doing a podcast on it. Like, we love them. So, like, hats off, freaking kudos. Can't wait to see what else you guys do. But yeah, we're talking about X. We are talking about X.
Oh God.
And it's just the letter X. Just so everybody knows.
Letter X. Yeah. X movie. It's written and directed by Ty West, starring Mia Goth, Brittany Snow, Jenna Ortega, Martin Henderson, Kid Cudi / Scott Mescudi, and Owen Campbell. So Mia Goth is playing Maxine. Okay, Maddie, I don't know if you know this, but this is just a quick. Mia Goth plays Maxine,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I'm a fucking sex symbol. But
Yeah.
then she also plays the old woman in this.
Oh fuck! I did not know.
I was
I
gonna tell you
did
that
not
last night,
know.
but I wanted your face. I wanted your
Oh.
face.
Oh my god. Wait, okay.
Mhm.
That's why she's the only one that makes it out. That's I don't know, it's so weird. Like it made
No,
me
but like
feel like
no. But I mean,
almost
like she literally like plays
yes.
her. Yeah.
Yes, correct. But I also like weirdly felt like the old woman is her and I'm like, "Oh, this is like a figment of her imagination." She's like going through some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. So Mia Goth. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do we want to go scene by scene or do we want to go character by character? Like, I guess let's go scene by scene because it starts off with.
Well, let me give you a quick synopsis, real quick. And also, spoiler alerts, everybody, get out of here if you don't want to hear it. People die. Yeah, you're done. I gave you your time. All right. Anyways, synopsis. This is about a group of friends who want to go rent out basically like an old-timey Airbnb. And it's with these really decrepit old people. Literally, their fucking skin is like, it's like they both have MRSA. I don't even know. They have like open sores on their bodies. It's terrible.
Oh no!
Yes, I'm so sorry, but that was the first thing I thought of.
You know what's actually really funny is that, like, I don't think that anybody that's like younger than our generation even knows what MRSA is. I don't think it exists anymore.
It does. MRSA is everywhere. It's just people. I don't even want to get into the fucking doctor side.
I feel like I've talked to some young people and they had no idea what it was, but I'm like, I was very well aware.
Yeah, I don't know if kids know what anthrax is either. Look it up.
Ooh,
you know?
That's dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyways, enough about that. So these group of friends, they're trying to make a freaking porno at these old people's Airbnb. And whatever. Like they're all being pretty chill about it. It's cool. There's two actresses, the filmmaker who is the boyfriend, and then his girlfriend who's there to like hold some equipment.
Wait, no, the filmmaker is
the boyfriend. Yes, he's the boyfriend.
Yeah, and yeah. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then there's the two girls that are film actresses, and then there's
Brittany Snow,
a guy.
What is her name? Brittany Lynn? No, that's not it.
No, Bobby Lynn.
Bobby Lee and
no, Bobby Lynn.
No, it's Bobby Lee. It's Bobby
Lee.
It's
Bobby Lee?
Bobby Lee and Maxine.
And Maxine, yes, and Kid Cudi is the male counterpart in the film.
Also known as Scott Mescudi by his acting name.
Scott Mescudi. I didn't even know. Oh my God, Mescudi. Yeah. Do you catch the drift? I'm sure you do, but like, good Lord. Good Lord. I was not prepared.
In Jesus' name, let us pray. Also, his name was Jackson in the movie. So Scott Mescudi was the lover in the videos.
Oh my God, that is rich.
That's rich.
That is rich.
God be good.
Yeah, so they're on their fucking little ride, and it ends up being that this old lady is basically, it actually has a kind of decent plot, and it's pulls on the heartstrings a little bit, because this old lady, she wants to, get one off with her husband, but her husband is old as fuck, and he's like, honey, my heart will literally stop, like, we can't have sex. So she's like jealous of these people, and yeah, then because of her jealousy and because they were fucking being sinful, she kills him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the synopsis.
Great synopsis.
Thank you.
Great synopsis. Thank you very much. I pitched to Maxon that we do this whole pod in
in our best Southern Belle accent.
I know. Well, the thing is, it is Southern, and one of the first things that
but it's not Belle.
On a real note, I had watched this movie once before, and that's why I see Maddie's cat.
You're bad.
Roshi, get your little barn ass down here. No, I watched this movie once before. Maddie and I watched it both together last night, and neither of us really like scary movies. And I'm here for horror. I'm not really here for jump scare bullshit that Paranormal Activity, Insidious. I fucking hate that shit. I'm give me a good plot, I'm fine. Maddie, I don't even know. I don't know where she's at, but I know she was a little scared coming in. But it was
the opening. We'll get there.
The beginning, yeah. So the beginning starts off with sheriffs coming, and it's nothing but corpses around this entire property, and it's eerie, and they've got eerie music and all this stuff. And I'm trust me, it's not trust me. And then immediately we show Maxine and Maxine and Wayne, and they're in the strip club. She's just snorting a bunch of coke, and it's just this upbeat fucking line dance song. And I'm this is what it's like for the first act, right? I said, it really felt like a play. It really felt like a stage performance where the first act was like this, then there's a pivotal moment, and then boom, curtain drops, second act. So I'm yeah, you're good, rest easy. The old lady is scary as fuck in the beginning of it.
So creepy.
I think
so creepy.
Yeah, I think that she was creepier in the daytime. That was one of my biggest notes, is that she really
that is talent. Yeah, that is talent. You know what, Mia Goth? Good shit. Good shit.
Yeah, and Ty West just tiny peek around this corner. I just want to see your bony ass shoulder, boom, around the corner, and just giving all of the suspense, all of the tension. But it's so what my point was is that Maddie and I were watching it, and she at first was just kind of unnerved, and then we get to the point of the strip club, which was called what was it? Bayou Beauties.
Bayou Burlesque. Bayou Burlesque. Down.
Oh my god.
Literally. Wait. Okay. I'm just going to say this. The way that the town is set up, where the Bayou Burlesque is, and this is for all my True Blood fans, it looks like Bonetown. It looks exactly like Bonetown.
I know.
And I'm I didn't know they had a burlesque in Bonetown.
Yeah, no, that's what I was about to say. Is she said it, and we have been because that is where her and I's mutual, we both have love affairs with HBO in separate regards, but True Blood is where we met and connected, because there were for the last season of True Blood, you used to come to my house every Sunday and watch it with me and my mom.
Yeah, I did.
Literally. It's it was a stronghold. HBO has always had a stronghold on us, but True Blood was really where it started. So it's we always are how do we find where can we draw True Blood in, because that was the original.
Oh my god.
Right? So when she said that, I fucking died, because it was hilarious. And I was this is perfect. Bayou Burlesque. It should be in Bonetown,
it should have been in Bonetown. I really loved that. It took me to the right place. Mm-hmm. And it was Bonton is where it took me. Thank you. Yeah. Fuck, yeah. I can taste the goddamn beignets, truly. Mm-hmm.
No, seriously.
Bonton is fictional, but still.
Yeah. Yeah. God, so so we get there, and then we're in La La Land, right? It's just fun and sex and happiness, and of course I like this because if anyone knows me, I love First of all, I love a group. I will watch anything that could be scary with a group. As long as it's not one person or people or three people, I'm good with it. If it's three, if it's 4+, I'm great. Right? Like, I love all the screams. I love all the, even though they're jump scary and the plot's shit. I love Saw 2. I can watch the other Saws, but I can't really watch them. I have to cover my eyes 90% of the time.
They're pretty gruesome.
But Saw 2 is great. And like, the thing is, I don't mind gore. I don't mind gore. I just don't like jump scares, and I don't like the tension, right? Like, they build it. And this movie builds it for you. Right?
It does. So I want to say, just on that note, I really loved a lot of the like still cinematography, almost like the director of photography had some part in that, but the thing is, it was looming. Those scenes, because they were still and they were a little bit long and like lagging, it scared me a little. I was like, fuck, like, what's gonna pop out? What's gonna happen?
No, but I really like that. That keeps me like I kind of like that, where it's like subtle tension building, but then when it's fast tension building, but like it just won't come soon enough. Like, that's what I hate, right? Like there were times of both, and I think that Ty West did this really well, of like hitting everyone that gets scared by something in their sweet spot in this film, right? Like, he had a couple jump scares, he had a lot of gore, or not a lot of gore, but he had some gore that was really gory.
Some good gore.
He had like really, really slow tension that didn't amount to anything. He had faster tension that didn't amount to anything, right? So like, the parts that gave me like the heebie-jeebies more than anything was Pearl, the older woman, in those scenes where like she like her in like when the group first got there, and Maxine looks up at the window and Pearl is sitting there, is like standing there, or like when Maxine goes off like to the lake and Pearl is like standing in the woods behind her, and like you can just see her, and you like, and me, even I've watched it twice and I know that Pearl's not going to do anything in this moment, but it's still like, that's what makes it creepier, is like, even the second time watching it, you're still creeped out, you know?
Dude, so fucking creepy. Yeah, I did not like that old lady at all. Sorry, my cat is fucking trying to chew on shit that he's not supposed to be chewing on. But yeah, no, it was so scary. Like, she was so creepy, and the way that she like, you know, like, she's an old lady, so she like moves like an old lady. And not to hit on old people, it's not your fault. You know, and I'm gonna be like that one day. It's fine, but it's fucking creepy. God, her husband was also very, very creepy. And his face, his mouth was so like down, like he had the illest frown.
So I mean, props to the makeup artist, but like, one thing, I will say, the one qualm that I had about the two of them is that, like, I understand like when you're old, teeth fall out, but like, just because all your teeth fall out doesn't mean that this one tooth is gonna end up in the middle of your fucking like this.
Okay, you know?
And literally both of them had a full front tooth like that, like one tooth right in the front. And I'm like, I don't think that that's natural, right? Like, their teeth prosthetics could have used work. I'm sorry. Could have been more realistic. If it was just one tooth, I'd have been like, oh shit, that's a hillbilly ass man. That is scary. But like one tooth in the middle, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know, but that was the only thing that I felt like, okay, actually, let's talk about the cosmetics and costume, right? Like, you had no idea that Pearl was Mia Goth.
No, I had no idea. But I did know that it was a younger person under there. When I looked at her, I was like, oh, that's not like a true old person. That's a young person dressed as an old person.
So it was her, and they did like such a good job of making, like, I didn't know that the first time that I watched it. I actually didn't know that until I knew we were going to watch it, and I just looked up like the cast and was looking at like other things that they'd done. and realized that I was like, who plays the old lady in this? And it was like Mia Goth. And I was like, what? Like, I was so confused. And then I read an article and it was like, yeah, she stunned everyone because she played both parts.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's sick. But like,
Okay,
they made her,
versatile queen.
yeah.
Get in
So
there.
I didn't think that the older woman looked anything like her. But
No, not at all. She
then
looked
at
creepy
that
as hell.
yeah, so when I watched it at that point, Pearl had already come out, which Pearl is the prequel to X,
Yes.
and Mia Goth plays both Maxine and Pearl in those movies. So I was like, oh, but she looks nothing like Maxine. And then when we watched it together, I was like, oh, I see it. I see it now. Like, I see it. She doesn't have like the cute little button nose, and she's got like they made her look different enough, but I still see the features. So I think that they did a really good job. My only and like with the guy, he was fucking like he was gross looking, but like honestly, I kind of feel like you know, it sucks because like I have from watching this movie the first time, I have a newfound empathy for the old. I feel like for the elderly.
Yeah.
We'll get into this when we get into main themes, but you know, I just feel like they made them look even more like there were, for example, there were some times that Pearl's hand looked fucking decrepit, and then other times were like one time, like, okay, this specifically when she kills the first guy, RJ, who is the cameraman, her hand on his back looks like malformed, like it looks like it's puffy and like wrinkly, like it looks bad. But then literally 2 minutes later when she goes to pull the keys out of the ignition of the car, it like looks like a regular like elderly hand, like there's just basic wrinkles and stuff. So I'm like, there's some like that's all I'll say is that there's some like lagging.
Some inconsistency. I didn't even notice any of those things because I was just intrigued with the movie.
Well, yeah, because I've watched it twice, I'm noticing. Yeah, I'm looking at that. Mm-hmm.
By the way, just getting into some of the themes of the movie, I did want to talk about the porno part. So I thought it was really funny that they're going to make this porno, but the filmmaker is like, I want to make a porno that has like a good story. Like that's not just a porno, you know, like blah blah blah, like it's going to be better than that, whatever. You know, I'm sure a bunch of people who have made porns have probably felt the same way, and some have been successful and some haven't. So regardless, I think was really funny that this movie is what he was desiring. You know what I mean? Like it's a film about like, I don't know, it felt like super like Inception-y and like meta. I was like, oh, like cool, okay, like I get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did really like that. And obviously sex sells, you know, like I think it was probably smart to do something like this, and I think that the cast that they got was great.
Well, yeah, no, what the cameraman RJ rang me as was, I'm young, I can't get a job anywhere, like I need to take what I can get. Like he was a millennial before millennials, right?
Yeah,
Like
he had a vision.
yes, he was just taking what he can get, and then he was a visionary. And then like what actually is great about his storyline specifically was that he was so about it with everybody else, right? When his girlfriend Lorraine, played by Jenna Ortega, the one and only Wednesday fucking Adams, she was the one that was skeptical of it, wearing her little cross, you know, just being a little sound mic girl. And literally it was so like funny and like sad to watch her in that, because she's like, but like she was clearly uncomfortable, but also clear, like honestly I feel like she was the most important character in this movie, I think. Just okay, So, okay, let's get into themes. Let's just get into this theme real quick with the idea of, let me pull up my notes. I wrote it really good in here.
Hell yeah.
Okay, overall themes worth noting: hypocrisy and morality, right? So that's what I wrote down as my note, but we see it throughout. So we see it in Pearl, right? Pearl wants to seduce these guys. She wants attention from these guys. She wants, like, she's lustful, but she's also like just ego filled completely.
Yeah. She wants to
And
be a star, baby.
yeah, and she wants to be a star. Literally, that's Pearl. Like, that is who she is. Maxine, but just 90 years old. But Pearl, when she doesn't get it, she gets resentful and obviously psychotic. Whereas, like, when we think about Lorraine, who is like the church mouse, as Wayne calls her, and you know, when, like, it's just like she like comes into it thinking that she's looking down on it, but then she's watching it and she's seeing how much they're enjoying it, and she's trying to be against it, but then she realizes there's nothing wrong with this, right? There's nothing wrong with recreational pleasure. Then she wants to do it. And I think that, like, it's very much like on it, this film goes on like both sides of the spectrum. And I don't think it's like it goes as deeply into everything, but you have to read between the lines on a lot of it, because it starts literally off with like the sermon from the guy who we find out, this is major spoiler. If you haven't finished the movie, don't listen to this, but like, starts off with the pastor that ends up being Maxine's dad, right? So it's just like major spectrum on both ends, and I think that Lorraine is the one that actually teeter-totters on both sides the entire time, whereas you have one side that's far right, one side that's far left, and Lorraine is the one that tips it.
I agree.
Right? Yeah. I agree. So and I think that that's probably why Jenna Ortega, I mean, although like her scream was iconic, that scream when she was in the basement. And that's why it was
she's a little emo goth girly, even though she's so like Disney and cute, which, by the way, I won't get into this too much, but it did feel a little bit illegal to see her in that scene. Not that she was nude or anything, but I was like, oh, this is sexy. And, you know, I am a little bit of a Disney girl. I can't help it. I just, you know, fucking true love breaks any curse. Like, who can't get behind that? So fuck, they got me there. But yeah, I don't know. For me personally, and it's fine. I love her. Grow up. Do you, girl? What the fuck? Like, it's kudos. I think just like, you know, it's always a little bit weird seeing like your children stars grow up and like do something a little bit sexy. I was like, oh shit, girl. I mean, you know.
Honestly, let's just build on this really quick, because we had a really good conversation about this, and I think that honestly this is a really good opportunity to talk about it, versus, I don't know, outside of like if we do Euphoria, like when we do Euphoria, we can talk about it with Zendaya, but Zendaya is a good example of like Jenna Ortega is someone that we have only seen doing minor roles. When I say minor, I mean like under 18, right? Wednesday Addams being in high school, and we like have like had a similar experience with Zendaya coming from Disney, doing Casey Undercover, and then doing Euphoria, which although she's acting like an adult in Euphoria, she's still a high school student. And then seeing her in a movie like Malcolm and Marie, where she's playing a full-ass, grown-ass woman, it's not that it's wrong, and it's not that there's anything wrong with it, and it's not that these girls, there's nothing wrong with it, but there is, and I think that anyone can understand this, when you know them from these other things, and then you see them in this specific light, it's a little jarring, right?
Yeah, it's a little jarring.
And the first, like, I'll just say, the first time that I watched this was before Wednesday came out.
So you didn't even know.
I didn't see her as a high school, like I didn't see her as a young adult. She's 20 years old. I think she was 19 when this came out. I didn't see her as a young person. I saw her as a woman.
Exactly.
And so it's difficult.
And I'm not saying, like, look, when you are 19, 18, you're legally an adult, and you know, she's a woman. I'm not taking any of that away from being grown. You know what I mean? I just think that now that I am older and knowing what it's like to be 20, you understand that there's so much learning. There's so much learning. So like, and you know, just coming from Disney, I was like, oh, like this is just a little switcheroo. So I'm not like she doesn't have to fucking, you know, ease me into anything. It's fine. She can do whatever she wants. I just, you know, it's like it always takes a little bit of getting used to. I'm like, oh fuck, okay, girl, you grown. You're a woman now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
You're
then
a
with
sex
that being
symbol
said,
now.
you're a sex symbol. And like with that being said, just on the topic of Jenna Ortega in this film, we are very happy with the way that that whole thing because there's a part where she says that she wants to be in it and they start the scene, but she's in literally like
Yeah,
a
her
9-year-old's underwear.
full.
She's
We
got
don't
her
see
bra
any
on.
nipple. By the way, the underwear I thought was really cute because it said Sunday on the butt, and she played Wednesday. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's. I don't know
So
if that was like a on purpose thing, but I thought it was cute.
who knows? Yeah, because but yeah, so it's like she didn't show anything. It was still obviously sexy, like positioning that she was in and everything, but it was like as PG as you can get for a film about filming pornography. And,
Correct.
you know, so with that being said, it's like, you know, because going into it the second time, I was like, oh shit, this Jenna Ortega, she plays Wednesday. Like, oh, like, I forget what she does in this. Like, what does she do in this? And then Maddie even said, like, oh my God, does she show nipple? And I was like, I don't remember. I don't think so. But you know, like, so they kept like it was a very minimal scene. Her scenes were, and I think that everything outside of that was so much more impactful from what she actually did, right? Nothing besides her shitty ass boyfriend RJ dying happened in that movie because of what she did. Like, she, you know, and honestly, I feel like it was beautiful. Like, she was just like, yeah, like, I understand the messaging of it. We are hoes. We understand.
Yeah, double
Recreationally,
standard, baby.
you
Like,
can.
oh, you can film a movie about porn and get to, you know, like, I'm sorry, but like, you get to have this on record for the rest of your life and use it at your will and pleasure, and I can't be fucking in it. Like, obviously, we could go deep. I don't think we need to. I think it's pretty well understood. I mean, this is the age of access, and also, like, you just have to experience one man to understand pretty much the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I'm not even going to say one man, like just any partnership in general. Then you understand the game. So like, yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, with Jenna Ortega out of it, she was very, very good in this. She did a great job. And I don't think that she was over sexualized, but we just wanted to talk about that a little bit because there is a lot of we literally did a deep dive of like over sexualization of like young female actors and singers and in the free Britney era, you know, it's important to just like be like constantly aware of what's happening.
Yeah. And when you're young, you're not aware. Like, you know, obviously, even when I was a teenager, like, yes, I was probably smart enough, but I just didn't have enough context for all of these like nuanced, complex, deeper things. So like, yeah, it is interesting to be more aware of it now. And like, you know, just kind of just, you know, take a nod to it and be like, okay, yeah, like we should be, you know, aware of these things. And it's fine. They did a great job. They really did. Like I felt like it was super classy.
I do too. Even the sex itself was like,
yeah, it was hot.
So I just want to like shout out, since we're talking about cast members, like Brittany Snow, bitch, you killed it. She killed it. Like,
yeah, she did
from jump, Bobby Lee. She was like, I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna get this money. Like, you know, I'm not trying to go back where I came from. You know, Jackson. And I just love that, like how like she even just the relationship with her and Jackson, who's played by Kay Cuddy, aka Scott Mescudi. Like even then, like when it's just this whole, I just love this trope of like when things are like when sex is involved in a movie and the woman is just like, you didn't make me like, it brings me back to like Meg Ryan faking an orgasm and fucking
Yes, exactly
right?
what I thought of.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so it gives me that like ode to like women are really great actresses. Don't fucking doubt us. We're only doing this to either make the movie or make you feel better about yourself. Like we're not doing this for our own pleasure.
Yes.
So I loved
I'm
like
so
her
sorry.
relationship. It's okay. I loved her relationship with Jackson because she just like manhandled him. She was just like, "Oh, baby, like you think you did that well, whatever." But then as soon as like she sees that he's a little hurt by it, she's like, "Oh, come here, you did fine." And
Yeah.
their relationship is just so cute, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is great." I loved the two of them mostly. I really wish that they were the ones.
Wait, stop. I'm so glad that you're just talking about the two of them. I just need to get this in. My number one favorite thing about this whole goddamn movie is Kid Cudi smoking. Kid Cudi smoking. I have never wanted a cigarette more in my fucking life. I was like, oh, I could go back to that. I could go back to that.
Quick.
I didn't know.
How did he do it? I don't even remember.
I don't even know. But
well,
just the way he was smoking and he was so fucking smooth with it. He was just so laid back the whole time. Like, I don't give a fuck. They keep getting younger and I stay the same. Whatever the fuck that quote is. You know what I mean?
Younger, I say the same age.
I say the same. Exactly. So like and honestly, we got some Kid Cudi ass. Bruh.
He's got a good butt.
Thank you.
He's got a good butt.
Thanks for your butt.
Yeah. I want him to be a 1973 all day, every day. He actually reminds me of...
He was hot.
He reminds me of a guy that was in Dazed and Confused. It was the only black guy in Dazed and Confused, so I might be flamed for saying this, but like the guy in Dazed and Confused didn't have a mustache, but he just like had this like swagger, and I was just like, he had that.
Yeah, like I'm kind of groovy. I've got this mojo. Like I don't know something. Yeah, I loved it. I loved him. It's so cool because like growing up and listening to like some really beloved songs of my generation and then seeing him I mean, I know this is just like a dumb horror whatever film, like it's not the greatest of greats, but he did really, I don't know, I loved his acting in it. I was like, okay, like I could see you actually acting something.
Oh yeah,
a little more serious.
He's been doing a lot. I think that's like he's been trying to break into it more. He's also best friends with Timmy Chalamet.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no, he's been like breaking into it more. I think he's like not doing the music as much. And he like has done some really cool shit lately, like really cool shit.
Yeah, I was super for
he was great. I like specifically love him as like a 70s like heartthrob.
Oh my god,
right? Like, I'm just like, God, he was really hot in it. I'm just like, because like when I first watched it, I was like, okay, there's two guys and a cameraman and three or like two girls and a camera woman, right? And I'm like, okay, it's gonna be like a whole thing. They're shooting multiple things, and then when they ever said like he was gonna be fucking the sisters, you know, I was like, oh shit, like okay, damn, like, but no, he was great in it. Him smoking a cigarette. I can't remember exactly how he did it, but I just remember him just being like the coolest. Like,
and like everything he did was cool.
I know. And then like when like the old guy, when they first got there, and the old guy was like, "Are you military?" And then Wayne was like, "No, flat feet." Just Wayne was honestly the comedic relief that we needed. Yeah, it was fucking hilarious. No, flat feet. And then like Jackson, Kid Cudi, like on the couch is just like, yeah, 2nd Infantry, platoon number 179, 2 tours, Vietnam, and it's just like
always in the rain.
Sexy, like it's just
he also was so cute when the old man was like, I don't know where my wife is. Sometimes she wanders off, and he's like, let me go get on my skivvies. And he's like, I'm about to find your bro. I was like, little do you know, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. But that was so sweet of you, you little fucking Marine. Oh God. I loved his character. He was fucking, he was fighting for people's, he was great.
With that being said, one thing that I'm very happy about with this movie is that the two white, cis, straight men die first.
Hell yeah. Bravo. Great job.
Ty West. Thank you, Ty West, because we're so done with the trope that the black people die first. Black people will never die first. They have survival instincts better than white people do. We all know this.
Yeah.
All of us. So,
it's true.
In any situation, they will make it out first. So, happy about that. I'm just like, yeah, we got RJ, the jealous little prick. Okay, let's talk about this because this is one of my favorite scenes, and we'll go over like actual favorites. I don't know if you've already said yours.
I have
this
another.
Is all over the place, but I'm here for it. We're having a great conversation.
Yeah, I have another. I have others.
Okay, cool. So, this is one of my favorite scenes. I have my other favorite scene that I'll save for when we get to that. But, this scene was when Pearl gets all she gets all glammed up. She's brushing her hair. She's doing all her shit. She goes down. She tries to seduce her husband. And he's like, Pearl, I can't. Like, my heart will stop. And then, you like flash to like the guys in the cabin. But then that's when Lorraine, aka Jenna Ortega, is like, I want to do it. They have this whole conversation about it. She ends up doing it. RJ is like in the shower, like weeping, and I'm like, oh, that's sad little bitch. Little bitch. And like, honestly, I'm just like, I get that it would affect you, but like, be able to vocalize your emotions. Seriously, don't just like diminish or like demean or whatever. Like, say, I'm insecure. I don't want you to fuck this hunk of a black man.
Well, and first of all, you can't say I don't want. Think about why this shit is hurting you. Because you can't have sex with a bunch of women?
Or because like even then, or like maybe my dick isn't big, like as big as his. Like that's like honestly, most of the reason that men get insecure or like jealous is because they're insecure. Right?
Right, exactly.
They're afraid that you're going to have a better time with someone else and then you're going to leave them. And then it's just, against their fucking ego. And I'm just like, that's exactly what this was. Like, instead of you being honest with yourself and you're being completely hypocritical because you've literally convinced this girl this entire time, like, this is art. It's not, blah. It's not sin. It's not any of this shit. Like, it's just art. Like, and then she's like, oh, I want to be art. Like, I want to be in this. And then you completely have a meltdown about it and you can't even communicate with her. Like, sorry, bruh, you're gonna die. And that's exactly what happens. And so it was just the buildup that was beautiful. Him in the shower, sulking like the little bitch that he is. Then running out, saying fuck it, getting the keys, saying out loud, what are they gonna do without me? Turning the car on. Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult comes on. It's one of the slower, just hear me out. It's one of the riffs. It's one of the choruses. Drives around, in this round parking lot, is trying to get out and make a break for it. Boom, Pearl. Stops, slams to the brakes. Riff's still going. He has no idea what to do. Then he gets out of the car, tries to help this sweet old woman.
Sweet old woman.
Sweet old little lady. She's just lost outside. She's lost outside. Yeah. Then music still playing, distant in the background. Beautiful, beautiful Blue Oyster Cult. Then she makes a little move on him.
She makes a big move. She puts her decrepit, nasty little lips on his. It was disgusting.
Yes. She's smelling his neck. She's feeling his back.
Yeah. Oh, she's being fucking romantic with it.
She is trying to seduce him with all her might. I don't remember what she says to him, but he's like, she says like, oh, like I can, I can do anything for you or something. So, but it was more sexual than that. And he's like, I don't want you to.
I
And
don't
then,
want you to.
and
I don't
then,
think he had a country accent. I don't think
no,
RJ had a country
he
accent.
really didn't. He really didn't. He was a flop like that came from fucking like Southern California. Um, so yeah, and then she like they're just standing there, and then the music gets louder and louder and louder, and
Mm-hmm.
she fucking shivs that guy in the fucking neck. But what was
So swift.
like honestly, it was beautiful in the way of the music because that was right when this incredibly iconic guitar solo in that song starts.
Yes,
And
yes.
I just want to continue painting the picture because there's more. There's more. Sorry. It was
There's more.
the incredible guitar solo, and not only is Don't Fear the Reaper iconic and classic in its own right because it's a great song, but it was also made more iconic by SNL, the triangle skit. Because
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so now when you hear it, you can't ever not hear the triangle skit, right? Like you can't ever not hear the triangle that's in it.
Thanks.
It was Will Ferrell that did it.
Yes, I know.
The cowbell, not the triangle, the cowbell.
Yes.
So, but like it's still such a great song. So you're seeing it, and there's a lots of ups and downs, whatever. And so she, as soon as she stabs him, is when the guitar riff like starts, and then she doesn't really do anything else. Waits for the guitar riff to end, and she's just doing her old lady like movements. And then the rest of it starts, and she just goes fucking psych. Like literally, that's what she did in Psycho. And I'm just like, this is an ode to so many horror movies with just this motion
stabbing. Yeah.
And it was just incredible. Like, and then it felt like I was watching a theater performance, and that was end of act 1. He died, curtain drop.
Yes.
Right? And then curtain up, horror. Nothing, like, everything. Horror. Like the whole beginning was just the synopsis, right? It was just the beginning.
Yep.
Like curtain drop, boom, matinee, go pee, come back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Intermission. Yeah. Come back for the shit.
Death. Yeah.
Yep. So after that, everyone starts dropping like fucking flies. I mean, Jenna Ortega also gave us a really fucking fantastic scream in the basement with her fucking hand getting bashed axed because the fucking grandpa had her locked up down there in a cellar. And I don't know. I really liked that. I was like, oh, like it's very Wednesday. It feels good. And I think, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, is she gonna be in the new Scream?
I think so. She was on like the cast list, but I don't know if it's new or if it already. I don't know. I'm not.
Right, someone fucking DM us for fuck's sake. Let us know.
Yeah, literally, please, because I'm not. I've got too many other things to follow. So that was one of my favorite scenes. Sorry, I took fucking 10 minutes to explain all that out because it was luxurious. It was such a good scene.
Yeah, no, it was great.
But let's talk about other overall themes like aging. So okay. So this the first time I watched this, I watched it by myself, and it struck a nerve so bad because this is my other favorite scene that I'll just say right now is the landslide theme. When it's while Pearl is brushing her hair, putting on makeup, and trying to get herself ready and go see her husband just to try to just do anything with him, and that's when he denies her. And first of all, being denied in general sucks, especially from your spouse, right? Like it's ego killing, it's heart wrenching, it makes you question everything. Like it feels incredibly lonely. And if you haven't felt this, you never want to feel it. If you have felt it, you know exactly what we're talking about. And so it's so like, I love that like Ty West made this character very easy to resonate with, even though she's old, even though no 90-year-old women are watching this. It's going to be women like us that are watching this, but we're still like, oh shit, like we can empathize with her right now because we understand this. But then also like fuck, like we have this to look forward to. And it made me think of like, not the first time I watched it because White Lotus hadn't come out, but when we were watching it last night, like even just our conversations about Bert, like I'll never see a naked woman again. I'll
Yep.
never have this feeling again. And
Mhm.
that's like, it's just so parallel with Pearl and how she's feeling. But like, even as a woman, it's like I don't know, I can only speak from a woman's point of view and like imagine like the
Well,
one day in your life that you are never desirable again,
yeah,
right?
so I
Like, it's like
actually am
horrific.
yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up because I think that there's a lot to that. There's probably a lot of shit that we could say and go into, but especially for women, like, and in this day and age, like, and I think probably for all of fucking time, like, beauty is such a big deal. And when
Mhm.
women lose beauty in society, they lose value,
Mhm. They
you
lose
know? And like,
respect,
as
they lose
horrible as that
interest.
is to say and to like understand, you know, I do think that there's truth in it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And like, I've worried about it. And I will just give this anecdote because I think that was really harsh and awful to say. I was worrying one time and I was working with this guy. He was he was like a dad, a chef. And I was like telling him, I was like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do when I'm not like pretty? You know, like, what if people aren't attracted to me? And he said the best thing. He gave me the best dad advice. He was like, you know, when you're older and like you don't have your beauty, people are going to love you for the beauty that you have inside. And I was like, oh my God, literally, that was nothing else could have been said. That was the perfect thing to say
Yeah.
because it did make me feel a lot better. But I do recognize that there is a strong pattern for women in society of like, when I lose my beauty, what value do I have? You know, and we
And
see it with you know, like, I hate to generalize, but like men do like treat older women like, who gives a fuck?
well, yeah, older women, overweight women, women that are of a different complexion that they like it's just like
Hmm.
if you're not of their specific, like, and this is like all internal, like their specific beauty standard, they will act like you don't exist. And that's like, and so it's like, and we have had this like Maddie with like her long hair, short hair journey, me with
Hmm.
like my heavier, lighter journey, you know, like even just like women that I know that are older, younger, et cetera, et cetera. Every single woman has the same sort of story where it's like, okay, if I gain a little weight, like no one pays attention. If I, as soon as I hit this
Yep.
age, no one paid attention. Like, you know, it's just it's like you're just obsolete at a certain point.
Right.
Right. And I think that like like me as a woman watching this, especially the first time, like number one, like I have this like not necessarily fear of aging, but just this anxiety about aging. And then also about like my loved ones aging around me. So
Hmm.
this movie was one of the like first and only movies that really like showed this at like such a delicate and like serious way of like, and very quickly, but like was very quickly able to get to the point of how Pearl was feeling. And I think that that's like a testament to Ty West and like how he was able to set this up of her being this like this creepy older woman in the beginning, but then her like actual vulnerability right there in the middle. And it fucking hit me hard because I'm like, oh shit, like this is like she may be like she may look awful and she may be scary and she may be creepy and she may be all these things, but like she is no different than the rest of us, right? That's what I was
Hmm.
thinking. And like
Hmm.
all of us will be like that someday in
Correct.
one way, shape, or form, you know, no matter how big or what color, whatever, like we will still all
Well,
be in that state.
right. And I think like as you get into your later 20s, early 30s, you really start to understand that because like you like look, I'm not like unable, right? Like I have a lot of healthy qualities that like I was blessed with. I'm very lucky, but like I have noticed as I get older things that break down, right? Like things that don't work as well as they
Mhm.
used to. You
Yeah.
know, so yes, it's coming for us. It's here already. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah, it is super relatable. Very
Yeah,
relatable.
exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly.
I think it was eloquently done on like aging. I mean, I think sex was a good provocative tool to like engage us in the conversation, to grab our attention. But yeah, like this movie, for being a like a horror film, it had a little bit of meaning, and it had like some
Yeah,
story, I
I
think,
had
for
some.
me, and it was good.
Yeah, and in that sense, like the aging process and just what Pearl is going through, like it had all the depth that I needed to be like, this is on my roster for A20 Whores. Like I want this
Yeah,
on here because
absolutely.
I remember texting Maddie when I was watching it, and I just was trying to like casually explain what was happening in the movie without giving it all away because I really wanted her to watch it. And I'm like, yeah, it's just this old woman that is set to be like, and this again, first time that I watched it before I knew that she was like a fucking axe murderer, right? Like, but like if you think about just the first half of the movie before she killed the first person, she like, yeah, she's creepy as fuck, but like she's just a woman yearning to be young again. And
Correct.
feeling probably like she's unfulfilled, and even telling Maxine herself like, I used to be a dancer, I was beautiful once, my husband used to be, he used to want to do everything for me. And it's like if you don't think, if you can't picture yourself in that situation, like everyone will be in that situation in one way, shape, or form. And
Right.
even if you're not 90, even if you're just in a long overdue relationship, even if you're, you just gain some weight, even if you lose some weight, even if whatever it is, like it is relatable as a woman to feel like that. And I just feel like it's actually really like what's like powerful to me when I think about it as like a whole production is that like a male director was able to pull these feelings out
Yeah.
and put this in the script and make sure that it's like it's really dug in that like women are the ones that are going to get this. If a man watches this, I don't think he's going to get it. Like
Right, of course.
men are desirable until they fucking die, right? Their sperm is
Right.
good until they die, unless
Right.
impotence is a bitch. But like, if we're being honest, women's eggs dry up like sooner than that.
Correct.
So I'm just
Correct.
it's like women, we are ticking clock always, right? Like even if we're the skinniest of the skinniest or the thickest of the thickest or whatever it is, like it's always like the beauty standard is crazy. And like I feel like Pearl, like she has like, and it's just so interesting that she is like the oldest and the ugliest, and they made her like this, I don't know, like she is just the worst off in all of it, and she's the one that is the victim in it. Like she's both the killer and she's the antagonist and she's the one that's doing the most wrong, but she also like in that beginning or in that middle like frame, like she is the one that like we feel the strongest pull towards, right? Like we feel the most connected with. And like, so Maddie, I don't think you liked her at all, but and I think, I don't know, for me, like Fleetwood Mac, something that gets me every time. Maddie and I actually went to see Fleetwood Mac in concert once. Maddie got tickets for her mom and was going to bring her boyfriend. And was like, I will disown you. I am flying down to Florida and we are going to see Fleetwood Mac together. I went to see them, but Landslide specifically, that song will make me cry every time I hear it. So that
it was the perfect song too for the movie because it's about getting old.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Yeah, so that is my favorite scene. Brittany Snow is saying it beautifully, but then just like hearing that behind Pearl, it humanized the fuck out of her right in the middle of it.
Yeah,
And like it was really good. I love movies that do that they're like the villain is the villain. The villain's gonna be the villain. She's still a villain. Like she's so awful and she should have died. But, it was nice to like kind of get like a villain backstory, if you will.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's good to get a little context and kind of understand like, oh, this bitch isn't just like killing because she's old and crazy. She's like, y'all can't have fun. If I can't have fun, y'all can't have fun. Fuck y'all. Yeah, no, I thought the aging aspect was really interesting. It always is. It always is in movies. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. You got me thinking. I don't want to fucking deal with this when I get old, but you know, that's why I do yoga, so I can keep my mobility, baby.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Maddie's got great genes too. I'm not worried about her.
Hell yeah.
Okay, do you have any other favorite scenes before we hop off? Any quick things?
Yeah, just I think probably the water scene when she's floating in the water. It's obviously serene and peaceful. It very much reminded me of like something Beyonce would do.
Ooh.
I think Beyonce did it in Black is King. I
Oh,
don't
I'm
know.
sure she did, just not in a bayou. She probably did it in like the Nile.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And I also just wanted to shout out the like director of cinematography and photography. I don't even know who it was, but like great fucking job because they had some really great lingering stills and like the fields and like the rustic place. I just like I was like I want to go there. I love this. This is beautiful. It's so serene. It was really serene for me. Like it felt super peaceful even though this was like a horror film. I was like, "Oh, I love this. Let
I
me
know.
blue skidoo right up in there."
Yeah. It was honestly the daytime felt scarier than the nighttime. They put more tension in the daytime scenes than in the nighttime. The nighttime was like slasher. The daytime was like tension building, like midsummer-esque.
Yeah,
And like I love
absolutely.
that because I'm like, give me horror in the daytime, give me slasher in the nighttime. Like I'm here for that kind of movie all day, every day. Okay, I just want to give an honorable mention scene to Pearl after she gouges Wayne's eyeballs out in the barn, and she walks in all frail and Gentile like, and she pokes him real quick, make sure he's dead, and then she just like daintily puts hay over his body.
Yes. Yeah. She was
Like,
like, "Oh, I did enough. I've done enough. You get 2 scoops and that's it. Bye." Yeah, no, that was really funny. Honestly, this movie had a lot of humor in it, and I think I really appreciated that overall because scary movies are tough for me because I'm a little pussy ass bitch. I'm a little softy baby. So that helped me. I was like, "Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for that." So yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought like it had a good story and it was well done. It was good to look at. I mean, there was sex, you know, like it fucking hit all the shit. Like it checked all the boxes.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's all for this one. But next week we will be back with Ex Machina, which is like a fucking OG A24 film. Maddie is the one that actually put me onto this movie. I didn't even know it was A24 until we talked about it. So yeah, we're excited. Fucking Oscar Isaac, baby daddy. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, sorry to burst your bubble, but he's not in it too much.
No, I know. I've watched it. I've seen it. But he's in it enough. He's in it enough, and he's an asshole. But you know, we'll get there. No spoilers for that. But watch it. Tune back in next week. Next Tuesday, we'll have the pod up.
Yeah, check us out at fucking HBHOES on Instagram, HB.Hose on Twitter?
No. HB.
Sorry, HB underscore.
Okay, hold on. X that. Yeah,
Sorry, guys.
HB.Hose on Instagram, HB underscore hose on Twitter, and hosehbo@gmail.com. Boom, 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 boom.
Hell yeah. Fucking check us out next week. Thanks for tuning in. As always, we love you, little fucking sex symbols.
Little sex symbols. Love you.
Love